All right, I got a follow tradition. Impromptu review of Minish Cap. Kind of mentioned this earlier. Um, I thought it was clever what they did. It's a small world, and they were able to pack a lot into the small world. The Kidstone device, which sometimes can be a little iffy. I mean, I don't mind it that much, but that was a way to pack a lot of goodies into the small world. That said, the way to get around is really, I don't know. Like, getting lost in this world is kind of annoying. Unlike in Link to the Past, if you get lost, you're kind of wandering around and you can do fun things. Because the world is small in this game, if you get lost, you feel cramped and you feel like there's nothing to do. So it's not as fun. And not only that, I feel like the clues were, I won't say completely ambiguous, but there were moments where it's less ambiguous. It's a little less ambiguous. Like, took me forever to figure out where to get the Pegasus boots. Took me forever to figure out how to get to freaking Lake Hylia, or to get to that part. I had to fly over the water part. I was like, what the bottle that took me forever. Just a lot of parts that just took me forever for no reason. Um, that said, it's still a pretty good game. It's a Zelda game. I don't think there's any Zelda game that's truly bad, except for,
Zelda 2.
yeah, even then, that's not like game breaking, horrible bad. People don't like Zelda 2 because it's different, not because it's bad.
It is
So,
bad, though.
that it depends on who you ask. Like, people will complain about Zelda 2 because it's hard, and people will complain about Zelda 2 because it's different, because it has more RPG elements in it. But they won't complain that it's like horrendously bad. It,
Elden Ring is hard, and yet it's one of the most successful games of all time.
what? So, like, just because a game is successful doesn't mean it's automatically good. Also, just because a game isn't successful doesn't mean it's automatically bad. Like, there's a lot of good games out there that didn't get popularity because they just didn't come from big names. So,
A lot of people hated Zelda 2, though. Like, a lot.
true. Pegasus boots.
Uh,
How many times did you walk past a shop with a boot on the side? Yes, that's true. That's true. I did walk past that many a time. And then when I got there, I had to wake the man up and I had to find the stupid mushroom. And then after the mushroom, it took me forever to figure out how to get to the mushroom. And I was like, what the freaking heck? Or when I or climbing up the cliff. Remember how long it took me to climb up that stupid cliff of Mount Crenel just to get because I didn't have the bottle. Even after I got the bottle, it still took me like an extra hour just to figure out how to get up. Yeah, um, yeah, it was not fun, not fun. Um, a lot of not fun moments, but also a lot of fun moments. Like, I can't deny how quirky it was. It was good. It was good. Also, another thing, back to the Zelda 2 statement, since it's on my mind. Zelda 2 was an experimental aspect, and there's still elements from Zelda 2 that still exist in all of Zelda today. So, Dark
which
Link.
were copies of Zelda 1.
Dark, Dark Link came from Zelda 2. Do you know that? That was the first iteration of Dark Link. So, also that game was made during the time of old Nintendo hard. And that's a trope where instead of making games longer because they didn't have the memory capacity, they would make them harder. So that's why permadeath was a big thing in Zelda 2. It's also probably why it turned people off too. Like, if you probably had save states or had a save point, if they turned down the difficulty slightly, it'd probably be a little bit more of an enjoyable game. Um, That's your cognitive skills, not everyone else's. Ty's still calling me out on me not missing everything. Look, man. Look. I made some bad connections. That's true. That's true. But sometimes I made those bad connections and then I realized it was like what just wandered around in the same circle over and over. It's partly because you were tired. I don't want to make that excuse while I play, but it probably affects me more than I think I do. Like, not only that, I'm in my 30s, so it's like if I get tired, and it means I'm getting older. If I'm tired and I'm getting older, my brain's probably still not working as much as I want it to, even though I like to think it is. Dude, getting older, it happens to everyone. It's not fun. So yeah, if I were to give a rating to Minish Cap, um,
An 8.
no, what? No, I don't think it's an 8. I think it's an 8. I think maybe a 6.5. Not bad, not amazing.
Oh, okay. In that case, Link to the Past is a 1.
What? No.
We're talking crazy talk.
No, Link to the Past. Look, I rated Link to the Past a 7.5.
Wait, I'm answering
Maybe
your
8.
crazy talk with my crazy talk.
What? No, that's not how that works. No.
See, Ty agrees.
No.
That is an 8.
That Minish Cap is an 8. I think it's maybe a 6.5, maybe 7. The reason why is that even if I connect everything together quickly, the other thing is that it'd probably be pretty short. So, which I guess maybe might be a little unfair, but
You know what else is short?
what?
A Link to the Past.
It's a GBA game. That's true. It is a GBA game. I mean, I guess the question is should I give bonus points or be more understanding because it's a GBA game? I think it was clever. But I think being a GBA game, like you're limited by your scope of what you can do. So, yes. You got that much info on one of those cartridges? Yeah. 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 I think the thing is I did give look in my rating. Okay. I think the fact that it's a GBA game can boost it up to an even 7. To an even 7. I can do that. That made it there was enough quirkiness into it, and I did think that how they implemented everything was clever and where they put everything. But it's I guess again, I always have to bring it back is that if you get lost or when you get lost, it's just like there's nothing to do when you get lost. You're just kind of wandering around the same 4 circles over and over again. So it just doesn't leave you to a very interesting experience when that happens. So I always got more annoyed when I got lost than anything. Then I'm comparing it to an SNES game. Well, I'm comparing it to Zelda. If I'm basing it off of my enjoyment off of it, right? So
Hold on. Here's what I have to say.
yeah.
Boo this man.
Are you talking to me?
Yep.
Wow. How rude. How rude. That. Boo. Oh snap. Oh snap. Ruined game. Everything's ruined. Also, if there's one point I can definitely harp on is that I thought the final boss was kind of lame. Even if I died a couple times, like the mechanics they definitely shoehorned in, and I guess the story elements of the boss didn't make sense to me. I mean, you heard me joking around about how Vati's second form was kind of like a bumper car. Like, yeah, I kind of proved it wrong, but still, like, he couldn't really do damage to me unless I was purposely doing something stupid or messed up. So, um, yeah, uh, yeah, yeah.
Uh, I'm not gonna lie. If you gave Arya a 6, I would be disowning you.
If I get what?
Arya of Sorrow a 6.
Aria of Sorrow a 6. Boo! He was a power hungry sorcerer. He was a power hungry sorcerer. Well, okay. So when I'm saying like story elements of a fight, right? It's what am I trying to say? So it's like
What you're trying to say is Peach should have been the final boss.
Vati is doing the snap. I got the power dance right now. By the way, hi Sky Ramies. I'll just call you Sky right now. How you doing? Welcome to chat. You just missed it. I just barely beat the end of Minish Cap, and I'm doing kind of like an impromptu review where we discuss and talk about how bad my opinion is. And then I try to rebuttal and say how everyone else is wrong except me.
Hush, Esam.
But yeah, my rating for Minish Cap, I'll leave it at 7. I can't move it higher. The final boss was kind of a letdown for me. Uh, and okay, back to what I was saying. I guess there's kind of like a when I say like a story thematic epicness. Boo this man. He well, I'm about to lose everyone in chat. Everyone's going to disappear. I'm going to be like, well, uh-oh. It's good knowing you guys. um all right. So, I guess look, think so when you think about like Ocarina of Time, right? You're climbing up the tower. You see Ganondorf, and you have the first phase with him, right? And you do the volley of death where you shoot back his stuff and you use the light arrow. And then afterwards, you run down the tower. And then afterwards, you fight Pig Ganon in the center of the ruined castle. Oh, throws tomatoes at OCAP. Right? You didn't necessarily need all of your items to make that work, right? I think what happened in this fight, in that boss fight, is that they tried so hard to incorporate all of the items that you obtained into the boss fight that it felt kind of clunky and it just didn't flow smoothly in my mind. So, like when you get to the second phase and you use the arrow to turn everything red, to turn those bumpers into red bumpers instead of blue ones, and then you use the tiles. It's like, well, that's very convenient that that there happen to be tiles here for you to hit those four at the exact moment you need to. Or even in the third fight phase, like I thought using the flipping wand was clever to like poke out the hand and then but a thing that's annoying is having to shrink and then having to unshrink So to so maybe to improve the flow of the fight, you shrunk down into the arm, and then maybe while shrunk did something inside the main body instead of like having to grow right afterwards and then do another set. I don't know. It was kind of, and then not only that, in the final phase, like all he did was shoot lightning and then shoot those power balls, right? And I was basically just standing there, just waiting for the timing of just like, okay, is he going to do lightning? All right, wait. Okay, go for. Okay, hit him back. It took me a while to figure that out, but once I figured it out, I'm like, well, okay. I don't know. It just didn't feel dramatic. I was just sitting there waiting the entire time.